Hey YouTube, I'm back with another tutorial. I wanted to do a dedicated tutorial towards the banding technique. I talked about the banding technique and I kind of demonstrated it in a previous video, but not in any great detail. So I thought I'd take the time to do an actual banding tutorial. Banding comes in handy when you're doing twist outs, or even if you wanted to do a puff and you wanted to stretch your hair, or you want to stretch your hair. It's also a great technique for people that are just starting out. Say you maybe you didn't quite do the big chop. Maybe you transitioned your hair, you wore braids for quite some time, and you're cutting off the permanent. So now your hair is at a shorter length, and you're trying to figure out. It's in that awkward stage of trying to figure out different styles and things that you can do with your hair. So the banding technique comes in very, very handy for that. So it really doesn't matter. Well, I won't say it doesn't matter the length of your hair. I mean, you have to have some hair to grip, of course. But as far as, when you're in that beginning stage and you're trying to stretch your hair out, it's a great technique. So even if your hair gets a little longer, then of course you would use different sizes of ouchless rubber bands. So what I mean by that is when you do the banding technique, I keep various size ouchless rubber bands on hand. So these are the smaller ones that I use for, Bantu knots or, just different things. Um, Once my hair got a little bit longer, I started to use the longer ouchless rubber bands. So, and I'll demonstrate what I'm talking about on that. And then, of course, I keep some of the larger ouchless rubber bands on hand as well for puffs and things like that. I even have some that are actually larger than this. So it really just depends on the style. And it's beneficial to use ouchless rubber bands versus maybe, because some of the bands come with a little metal piece and you really don't want to use that because that could yank your hair and cause, damage. So you don't want to do that to your hair. So it's best to use just your regular, ouchless rubber bands. Again, I keep various sizes on hand. So I will demonstrate the technique and how that works. And so here we go. As you can see, this style, I've had it up for quite some time, so it's rather old, so it's time for it to come down anyway. As you can see, my edges are looking kind of rough. So yeah, it's about time to take this down. So I thought this would be a perfect opportunity to show how the banding technique works. I'll also demonstrate the products that I use when I do banding, if I do banding, how, the sequence and what I do as far as using products as well. So here we go. All right, I am back. I took down the top part of my hair for this demonstration so I could show you how this technique works. I'm going to use the Baby Don't Be Bald just to oil my scalp. And I'm also going to use the Cantu Shea Butter Leave-In Conditioning Cream as part of the moisture regimen that I do. And I'm also going to use the Baby Buttercream, the Miss Jessie's Baby Buttercream. Of course, these are my staples. And then I'm also going to use the argan oil as well. So I'm doing this as if I just washed my hair, even though I didn't. And then, of course, I have my handy rat tail comb. And then I also have 3 ouchless rubber bands. And those are the sizes that I'm going to use today for the demonstration. And so the first thing that I want to do, again, is I want to use the Baby Don't Be Bald just to oil my scalp. I'm going to make some parts, and the parts, you don't have to worry about that again because we just want to get 3 sections so that we can do our banding. So don't necessarily worry about if the parts are straight. I'm just doing this so I can apply the Baby Don't Be Bald to my scalp. And I just massage that in. And then, of course, I'm going to do another part so that I can massage the oil into the next section that I'm doing. All right, so I'm just going to massage that in real good. And so from there, now I can proceed to the next part of this process. All right, now it's time to prep so I can get ready to do my banding technique. I'm just going to start out with parting my hair into 3 different sections. You do not have to worry about if the parts are straight unless there's a particular style that you're trying to achieve. But for this demonstration, I'm just literally demonstrating how to do banding. So having straight parts and that sort of thing is not really necessary. So I'm just going to go ahead and start applying the product. I'm just taking some of the Baby Don't Be Bald and applying that to my perimeter. Because again, I said in a previous demonstration, my perimeter tends to get a little bit dry, so I try to make sure that it's oiled. So I just took an ouchless rubber band just to keep that section out of the way so that I can proceed. So that's the Cantu that I'm going to apply first. This is my sequence. It doesn't have to be in this sequence, but I'm applying the Cantu first just to get that moisture in there. And I just rub it in, making sure that I get the ends really good. And then I proceed with the Baby Buttercream, and that's the second moisture product that I used just a little bit. And so again, focusing on the ends, making sure, and as you can see, it provides a great shine to your hair. I love these products. They are great. They work for me. My hair responds great to these products. And then next, I'm applying the argan oil, and that is another, if I can get the label to show. Applying the argan oil, and again, just a little bit. Very important to keep moisture in your hair. And now I'm just going to take the ragtail comb and starting at the ends first. You always start to detangle at the ends first. I'm going to get the hair combed out really good so that I can go forward with doing my 2-strand twist. And that's part of the banding technique too. So again, if you're doing twist outs or a puff and there's, a certain level of definition that you're trying to get, you start out by 2-strand twisting, and I'm just going to show you really quick the 2-strand twist process. Not hard at all, just literally taking 2 strands and twisting your hair all the way down. And I'm just going to keep twisting until I get to the ends. Just twisting, twisting, twisting all the way down. And then once I get all the way down, I'm going to twist down as far as I can because you definitely want to make sure that the ends are twisted as well. You don't want fuzzy, frizzy ends, so get those ends twisted as well. So now I'm all the way down to the end. So now I want to take my ouchless rubber band, and again, you're going to use the ouchless rubber band depending on the length of your hair. So if your hair is not a certain length, you don't want to use a long ouchless rubber band and you have short hair. So I'm just going to get as close to the root. I want to get that ouchless rubber band on there pretty tight, but not too tight because again, you don't want to be too tight. So I want to get as close to the root as possible. And I'm just going to twist the ouchless rubber band all the way down the length of the hair, as you can see. So I'm just proceeding to twist that ouchless rubber band down, and actually, it's probably time for me to get some new ouchless rubber bands because now my hair is grown and these ouchless rubber bands are a little bit too short. So you're going to see me kind of tuck the end. You don't have to do that. If your ouchless rubber band is as long as your hair, you wouldn't have to do this. But I'm doing this because my ouchless rubber bands are just a wee bit short. Again, your hair is going to grow, so you may have to, get longer ouchless rubber bands as your hair continues to grow. So now I'm going to proceed to the next section. I'm going to do 3 of the bands so I can show you how this works. So I'm just going to take this section down so I can get my second banding twist in. So parting, not really worried about whether the part is straight or not because I'm not focusing on a particular style. So next, I'm going to do the same. I'm going to repeat the same steps with the moisture products. And that is the Cantu, the Baby Buttercream, and the argan oil. So I'm just going to get that section out of the way so I can focus on the section that I'm working on and apply my products. All right, I have all of my bands complete, and I hope this was very helpful. I will do a follow-up just so you can see what it looks like afterwards. Please like, share, and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.